Hello. This is episode number 73 with Truth Be Told podcast. I'm your host, Britt. Y'all, I got a new segment today. We are starting Kitchen Talk with Miss Heaven in the building. How you doing today, boo-boo?
Hey there. Well, y'all know Heaven's World Podcast. Great to be another guest, an added guest on your show. We love to hear you. We love to see you. So thank you for inviting me for 2024.
Yes, y'all. Heaven's World podcast is not new to Truth Be Told podcast. She was one of my first guests. I'm still new because I still am still learning as we are every day. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that she decided to come back on the show today and start this first segment with me. I thought that of all people, Heaven would be the one to give us some kitchen talk.
We love
Y'all have got to follow her. She is doing amazing things. Heaven, let us know what you got going on, boo.
for 2024 or just in just overall.
Overall, you can talk about
Overall,
2024 too, because you know we're gonna go there.
that part. Okay, so I'll go overall and then we'll dig into 2024 when we get past to it, right? But
Okay.
overall, I just will be placing myself in places that I didn't think I was good enough or fortunate enough to be in.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Ooh,
It
I
looks
love
like
it.
comfort zones, you know?
Yes.
What
I
am
love it.
I? Okay. So that's what,
Yes. It's a new year.
yes, absolutely. We don't
And
even,
I'm excited about it because I feel like so much things are happening. So the reason why I came up with Kitchen Talk, y'all,
okay.
is because you know us as Geminis, we really have so many different sides. And I was like, I really need to show them my
Mhm.
other side. Like, you know, I need to switch it up a little bit. Like sometimes I want to hear church, and in the next moment I want to twerk. You know, like, hey.
It's a it's a balance.
It's a balance.
It's a balance.
Exactly. It's a balance. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. So when today's topic is gonna be called transition. I wanted to talk about that because we're at the first of the year. It's 2024. I didn't want to be too serious because I know those topics are coming. Everybody working on their goals. Like, I really wanted to just get down and dirty with y'all. It's the first of the year, and some of us are still struggling from last year.
Yes.
So when I asked you, Heaven, what does it mean to you to be in transition for 2024? What is that for you, boo?
Transition. Okay, so I know we like to say new year, new me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying that.
That's
I will say what I learned with the old me last year was that my transition this year is gonna look a lot like I put me first, right? And that's gonna look a lot like closed doors. It's gonna look a lot like cleaner hallways. Okay. It's gonna look a lot like when you put yourself first, it's gonna always look empty around you.
yes.
And I used to think it looked like support when you put yourself first, right? You put yourself first so the support system follows. No, you have to put yourself first so much that you don't depend on people to be there at all except God.
Girl.
Transition 2024 looks a lot like I'm putting me first and I'm letting God do the rest.
See, I said I wasn't gonna get on here and cry. And the reason, and but you already getting me there
You start.
because because like I'm like, okay, y'all, if y'all Heaven is just so intuitive. And I knew that I was telling my husband, I was like, I got out of church today and I've been battling with this podcast, Heaven, because you know, on this podcast, y'all, I talk about mindset. I talk about healing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also talking about just, you know, healing the inner child. I'm always talking about that. And like you said, it's a balance. And I really wanted to let y'all know I'm struggling. I'm really
Yeah.
struggling. But yeah, I'm struggling because I want to give y'all all of me. But then I just want to make sure, I don't know. I just wanted to look a certain way. You get what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So when I started Truth Be Told, my sister and my brother was like, You too corporate. You need to like switch it up. You need to, you know, they used to me being, I call it boomjetta, because I can be ratchet one moment.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Girl. And so I'm actually at a time in my life that I am embracing who I am, and I love it. I love it. I love that I can be in a room. I could be in a room, I always say, with Barack Obama, and then I could switch it up and be in there with Sexy Red. You got it's levels to it, you know?
The reason why it has to be is because I understood over time that the unhealed versions of myself are still a part of me. And when you heal, you're not supposed to get rid of them. You're supposed to take them with you, because the unhealed version is your defense mechanism. That's who's going to tell you, oh, they trying it. Or, oh, you taking up too much space here. Oh, enough is enough. Oh, it's time for you to go. Your unhealed versions are the versions of you that didn't tolerate disrespect. But a lot of people like to put unhealed and then want to put it together with what you need to change. And those are still two different versions of yourself. Because you could change, but if you go ahead and change so much to where you say, I don't want to react when I'm disrespected, I'm not going to stop people from disrespecting you.
No.
But if you take the unhealed version with you, that's who's going to say, with discernment, intuition steps in. I don't trust this person. Do you? No, I don't trust this person. Enough said, let's go. You get what I'm saying? We no longer have to stop ourselves from being in places that we no longer fit. We are now at the point where we make the choice, right? Everything's about choice. You know, we did a lot of blaming. With our unhealed versions, we did a lot of blaming. But as you heal, you start to realize the choice you made. Okay? So now you go from blaming to choice to decision making, right? So I don't gotta say I was like this because of X, Y, and Z. Now I get to say I decided, I chose, and I choose to make this decision for you know, moving forward. So you need the unhealed versions of you to remind you of what you've already been through. Because if you pray the unhealed versions of you away, you're gonna still find yourselves in situations where the unhealed version would have told you, I told you what that felt like.
Yes.
Again.
Heaven. Let me stop you right there, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, okay, I be double dutching, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, we do it human.
Yes. I be like, one moment I'm in, one moment I'm out. And it's not that I'm trying to become Mother Teresa, because no, that's not what I'm trying to do. But when you grow and you know better, it's like when you be around somebody who keep doing the same stuff, or you just keep having the same pity party, or you just keep talking about the same. Like, I have a homegirl, I love her to death. We're genuinely friends. You know, we genuinely love you. But I know our season is not as it was. You know, it's gone. And sometimes it hurts, because like you said, as you're growing and you're transitioning, when you were talking about what transition means to you at the beginning of the podcast, you were saying, like, pretty much sometimes you feel like that support system comes with you, but this is probably one of the loneliest seasons that I have felt.
But it's not lonely, boo. It's not lonely. The thing about it is, if you don't get rid of dead weight, you won't have space for better weight.
Hey.
And it's like working out, eating bad, and then expecting results. No.
Right.
I mean, no. So once you start, so this is one of my mottos, right? And I'll share it with everyone. When I work out, things work out. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say, if I work out and eat bad and I never eat right, everything will stay the same. If I work out, eat right, choose to eat bad on certain days, now I'm balancing, because I'm not stopping myself from something that I don't want, knowing I want it, and I'm giving myself something I don't want. So now I'm forcing myself into a space I don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, so like I look at life like exercise now. You know what I mean? Everybody's weight goals are different. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to be skinny, some people want to be in shape, some people want to be like this, people want to be like that, and all of them are okay. All of them are okay. So I tell people now, instead of being afraid of changing, fall into that, because we could fall into everything else.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And it is sad when you got to let people go. But remember, the people you letting go was holding you back, not holding you down.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So the people you are afraid to leave alone, that you comfortable. So I'll say this: when you're going through it, right, and you backpedaling, you know what I'm saying? You backpedaling. You like, I don't want to be this way, but I'm so comfortable when I feel like this to going back into these ways. The people that you gravitate to the most when you feel less than are the people you have to get rid of.
That's scary. That's scary for me. I guess because when you say that, I feel like I done got rid of so many people, and it's not necessarily getting rid of them; it's just growing. You know,
it's always growing. But I think what I learned is I used to keep disposing of people. Every time I grew from something or outgrew something, I would dispose of people, till I realized I'm doing all this throwing away, but I'm staying the same.
Oh, girl, if you didn't say nothing but a word.
So it's not about who you get rid of. It's about what you get rid of for yourself. So this is where the blame comes in.
Right.
I'm going to get rid of you because you act like this and I don't act like that no more. But when I'm comfortable and I'm afraid to change, I gravitate back towards you. Is it their fault that they stay in the same of what you think? Or is it your fault because you really didn't change? You get what I'm saying? So I have that. So transition for 2024 looks a lot like less looking at others and looking at myself. God gave us a mouth to speak and eyes to see, ears to hear, feet to walk, hands to feel, touch. So I say that to say, I stopped blaming other people for the reason why I'm not where I'm at, but what I got to let go of.
Yes.
You know what to let go of, but it looks like people, but it's really just a habit.
Okay, so let's go there, because that's where I'm at. You just transitioned into where I needed you to go into. Yes. I was like, I know she's going there. I know she's going there because you always go there. I say you a psychic on the low. You really be so intuitive of your third eye. That's why when I switched topics, I had came out of church and I was like, I don't want to talk about that no more. And something just said, I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about that later. This still kitchen talk. We're gonna get to the kitchen.
let's first off, when you cooking, that's energy.
Yes.
So we need to talk about uplifted things anyway. I need my cornbread to sit me up.
Yes. Since you've been changing and transitioning from last year to this year, like we said, we ain't new. We just I'm not new. I just look different. Exactly. With those habits. Yes. So let's talk about those habits, those good habits and those bad habits. How are you dealing with, whatever you're dealing with this season? I know in October, and I'm just, being really true to you because this is truth be told. So in October, I got baptized. I've been baptized before, but something coming to this city told me to get baptized again. Okay. And so then I joined the church. I joined the Lighthouse Church. And it's funny because one of my podcast guests, who's not even from Houston, was the one who told me about the Lighthouse.
Yes.
I didn't even know who preached there, didn't know nothing about it. She was just like, go there for the word. She didn't say nothing else. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, it's not far from me, because she kept saying, what side of town you on? I'm like, I'm on the north side. She was like, oh, I got a good church for you. And when she told me, and then when I got in there and I felt his presence, I was just like, oh my gosh. And going to church, I was like, Brittany, you got to switch up some stuff, and it's not because I'm going to church, it's because I'm trying to be a better person and I'm trying to work on my inside. I have been a big time smoker since I was 14.
Okay.
Blowing the weed real heavy. Love the weed. I'm not even gonna lie. I still love the weed. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's hard for me. Like, I've kicked pretty much a lot of stuff. I asked God to remove, I asked him to remove alcohol. And
Okay.
alcohol, that was easy. Because like if I'm sitting around, not saying that I don't like to be like socialized with my friends, because if I go out with my friends and I take like one drink, Heaven, maybe a shot, I'm done. Like I can't drink no more.
Okay.
It's like the desire for the alcohol is went away. Like I don't have alcohol in my cabin. You know, everybody got a liquor cabinet.
Hello.
You know,
we got one or two. Let me tell you something. The stash cabinet count. Go ahead.
so I ain't got the liquor cabinet no more, but I definitely got the weed cabinet. Shout out to the glue on the mic. Hey, the glue tray is on here. What's up, boo?
Hey.
But I really am struggling with that, Heaven, because I keep asking God. I'm like, you gonna have to do something drastic for me to stop, because I depend on it. Like, it's to the point I've been smoking so much. I don't smoke a lot every day, but I gotta have at least one blunt, maybe two.
Okay.
And so while you're transitioning from, you know, old to new, new to old, how are you dealing with your habits? And what can you say to the audience to help them and me?
I broke my weed obsession. Weed had me in the chokehold. So I started smoking when I was 15. I had my on and off moments, but I always used it as a dependent, right? So once I started working in the field of cannabis, in the industry of cannabis, I stopped smoking flowers, so I started smoking wax pens, right? And there was times in my journey of cannabis that I would smoke flower, then smoke the pen, smoke flower, smoke the pen, eat edibles. I am a year clean of flower itself. I don't smoke the pen at all. And then I'm actually 9 months now clean of eating edibles.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I say, for me, though, I think when you find out your reason, it always helps. And that's always helped me with alcohol, too, because that's one substance that I go back and forth with. You know, I go back and forth with alcohol a lot. Am I the same alcoholic that I was in my 20s? No. I could not buy liquor and be okay. If I don't want to buy alcohol, if I don't want to buy hard liquor, I should say, I'll buy wine, right? But I'm very intentional, and that's what it is. It's about being intentional about why you're doing it. So it's not that, because what I learned with my mentor is that you can go cold turkey with something, but if you find yourself back to it, that's what you have to address. It's not the substance itself, because that's going to always be there. So now let's take away the alcohol being my substance. Weed was being my substance at a time, my choice. Mushrooms was a choice at times too.
Girl, them things is nice. I done had a couple of them.
I talk about YouTube, I'm so sorry. But nonetheless, I will say this. I had to realize that I'm the one with the power over these things. They don't have power over me, right? So here's where choices came in at. And choices has been a big thing for the past 7 days since we just started. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Spiritually, I believe the new year starts in April. However, I'm willing to go with whatever everybody else thinks about, because I no longer want to change people's way of thinking. I'd rather help you with your way of living. You know what I mean? Because that is on, this up here is on you. You know what I'm saying? But how you present yourself out here, that's on you too. But if somebody can show you a better way to show up, you won't show out. You get what I'm saying?
See, let me stop you right there, because you went to the mind. That's what I'm talking about. Everything is all about your mindset. You can't have these type of conversations, whether it's fun and flirty, whether we're being serious,
Right.
whether we're trying to change, if you don't have your head together. You know, you got to get your head together. What are y'all doing this year? Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, you need to stick to the goals, you need to do this, you need to do that, because we all fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Nobody is perfect here on this earth, you know? And so when people, when January gets here, and you know, the gyms get packed, and
Yeah.
church be packed, and
Yeah.
everybody want to be like, new me, new you. I've been stopped saying that a long time ago. When I was young, I used to say that, and I'd be like, why did I say that?
Don't worry about the new year, new me. Just know that God wakes up every day, that's a new day. Right. And that attaches to the new year. You know what I mean? I think when it comes to the big transition, though, our mindsets, I learned, because I used to tell people, if you can, the saying that I learned from the song that I played, I Believe I Can Fly. Of course, you know, I don't want to say the artist because not too many people align with him.
Girl, I love him. Keep going.
You know? Okay. You know, and I had to really realize that 12 years of my life, I was in piano. So I always had an outlet to what I was feeling. If I was upset, if I was sad, if I was happy, whatever, you know. And I used to forget that. So what ends up happening in the transitions of life is that you have to get, now the inner child is important when it comes to getting back to how you actually breathe. And how do I want to say, you actually breathe correctly and you actually were happy about life. We weren't thinking about bills. We wasn't thinking about material possessions. We was just happy to be alive. As kids, we woke up and said, thank you, God, I'm alive. And that was it.
Yes.
Face for the rest of the day. Okay. We done became adults. And now we wake up like, thank you, God, I'm alive. But don't let me lose my car, my house, my keys, my this, my that, my kids, my this, my that, my thing. God, like,
please help me pay these bills.
God, like, brush your teeth yet. I don't know what else you want me to do. How can I help you when you done gave me a whole list of things and all you needed to do for today was just get up?
Yes.
I just need you to get up. Mm-hmm. So transition for 2024. I hope everybody's transition looks like getting up.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
You know, giving the day exactly what you got.
Right.
And that's the best. That goes for people that wake up with one leg, one arm, one eye, so when you wake up, the best way to assess your day is to think of the people that didn't wake up like you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And that's where gratefulness has to come from, because those people that are not like you, whether they have less than you or more than you, either way, you praying on both sides of the spectrum, because you praying not to have less and you pray for more. So you got to pray for those people because you're in between.
Oh, okay, boo. Drop some mic.
So I just say, like, that's where my transition is, boo, is that I no longer pray to continue to have what I have because I know I want more. Then I got to pray for the in-between. That's right. So I'm going to pray for the ones that don't got what I have. I'm going to be thankful for what I do have. And then I'm going to pray for the ones that have more, because one thing everybody hasn't realized is no matter what, we all in the same boat. Yes. And air signs like ourselves, we're meant to flow. It's windy in LA right now, so y'all might hear the wind, but we're meant to flow. Mm-hmm. Okay, we meant to go like this, flow with the wind. And what's happening right now is that everybody has forgotten, but is being quickly reminded that whether you have a lot or you have a little, we all die the same. That's right. That is right. Nothing that you have has ownership. Mm-hmm. It might have your name on it, but if you go and the person after you doesn't take care of it how you did, the same people you didn't want taking nothing from you, taking it back. Yep. So, I love it. You know what I'm saying? We got to live in more gratitude. So 2024 should look like gratitude for everybody. I don't care if you living in a box, be thankful that it's a box and you're not laying your head on a rock. Right. You're not under the highway. That
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody. So the fact that we are going up the chain is why I tell people to pray for the people that are behind. You're not gonna get higher if you praying to always have more, because the people that have more, they're not praying for the less.
No, no.
Now we have a bunch of unanswered prayers because nobody's praying for the people that are behind them that they once was. For
And
real.
so I was gonna say, because you just everything that you're saying as far as being in transition, where you're at the beginning of the year, I think that's a good point to start off at. I think it's important to realize to be more intentional about what you're trying to do, what you're trying to do this year, and don't feel like you have to be perfect, because nobody is perfect. But just remember that each and every day is a new day with new
Yes.
grace, new mercy, you know. And it's okay, because like I was telling my guy, I'm in another support group, Heaven, and it's a Bible group.
Okay.
And girl, let me tell you what I did. And I didn't even know I did it. So I said damn, right? I said damn on the line. We do line in the mornings, we do our affirmations. And I didn't even realize that I had said it, because I was just so in a safe space, I felt like at the time.
Yeah.
But then one of the girls hit me up and she was like, "Oh my gosh, do you know what you just did?" And in my head, I was like, "Well, what did I just do?" Because I've been in this group for like 2 years, and when you're new to a group of ladies who already have their own, thoughts, and everybody know each other, they're pretty much family. You kind of hold back a little bit.
Yes.
And so it hurt my feelings for the moment, but then I was like, okay, this year, Brittany, I'm asking God and myself not to be so offended about everything. Like, don't let every little thing offend you, y'all. Like, for us to get in these rooms, for us to be in different spots, like, you can't take offense to if somebody tells you something. Because for one, I was on a different platform. I wasn't on my platform. And yeah, at first I was a little salty here. And I was like,
Okay,
it ain't that serious. It ain't that damn serious. Like, exactly what I wanted to say.
That's what I meant. Yes.
But I'm learning. I took that example, and I said to myself, just learn this year. Take fear and take offense with you. Carry it with you, but be stronger for it. So before we go, because we say something real quick, and we keep going on about our day. What is it something that you can say to yourself and to people that are still struggling? They're still struggling. It's not always peaches and cream.
Yeah.
What is it something that you can say as far as you transitioning that can help somebody else for this year?
Okay. Don't forget that it's gonna take one day at a time. I like to tell people now that being so focused on your future will depress you if it doesn't happen how you see it. Focusing on every day like it's your last is important. A lot of people say you can't do that, but the same people that tell you not to do that are the same people that have reached an age where they're still not happy.
Yes.
Live each day unhappy, but you need to know that you could see 5 years from now, but God only gave you one. So now you seeing yourself in spaces you don't get to see, So I tell people to give yourself less stress, is to wake up happy that your heart is just beating itself, and that's it. Go tackle the day with whatever you got. If you have body dysphoria, tackle it with the body you got. If you have an identity complex, tackle it with the person that you believe in the most, the version of yourself you believe in the most. Use that one to help you tackle the day. If you woke up and everything you look around you hate, find something you love within yourself, though, because everything outside of you is also a reflection of how you feel about the inside of yourself.
That's right.
So if you look at your house and you say, I don't like these cabinets, You only don't like the cabinets because you're comparing them to somebody else's cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
But they not inside your house.
You better tell them, Heaven.
You know?
Yo.
24, I just want everybody to focus on themselves, and spend less time in spaces uplifting others that you really don't have the energy to do.
Right.
And I had to learn that. I'm a family orientated person. I care so much about people. However, I spent many years doing that and less of what needed to be done for myself.
Girl.
You know? And
I promise you put it on the nail, because, you know, for the longest, I've always been in the caretaker spot, you know, and I'm still that, but my grandparents are no longer here.
okay.
My granddaddy is still here. And so he's the only one left. And so for me, when my grandmother passed in 2020, both of them, I said to myself, I gotta go. I gotta go. Because not because I felt like I was being selfish, but just simply off the fact that, like you said, I had to realize I was in a different space, and I needed to put that responsibility on somebody else. Not necessarily meaning that I'm still not gonna make sure my granddaddy's okay in Texas, but I had so much on me. I was getting sick emotionally, physically, everything was just going down. So I had to make a pivot, and I had to realize, okay, this is where we gotta be. This is where we gotta, this is what we have to do. So I'm just grateful that you are saying that to the people for this year. Take care of you first, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of nobody else.
Let me tell you something. If the old folks saying is, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't utilize the talents, the gifts, the energy that God gives me every day, I'm going to lose it.
Yes.
And if I lose it, where does it go?
There you go, boo. Now y'all looking at two Geminis, okay? We are y'all, and I love Heaven's World podcast. When I'm in a rut or I'm not in a good space, that thing can twerk. You hear me, girl? I done had my husband look at your butt. Girl, I be like, baby, look at her butt. Like, ain't she just twerking? Like, I be like, what is Heaven doing?
What Sexy Red say? I'm looking for the.
Hey. Girl, that's my song. I will put it on like when I'm working, and I can't, like, I work third shift. So when I'm working and I can't stay up, girl, that gospel, I be crying, and I'm like, okay, let me get my ratchet. And that's where I go to. That's exactly where I go to.
What for 2024, as of January only? I don't want to know about February and the months on, just January. What does Brit's January 2024 feel like so far?
Oh, y'all love putting me on the spot.
I don't want to know what it looks like, because our eyes can deceive us.
That's right.
But what it feels like, you can't hide that.
You're right. It feels like excitement. It feels nervous. I have butterflies, but it feels like expectation. Like, I know something is coming. Like, I feel it. I tell my husband that all the time. I say, I don't know what's going on. I said, but we need to get ready for transitioning. God keeps moving us. He keeps putting us in places. And I'm always like, how am I able to afford this? How am I able to do this? And that's why I'm just trying to really just, like you said, focus in for January. I'm just trying to be more in tune. Social media for me is kind of up and down, because it's a hit and miss for me, Heaven. So it's like,
don't worry about social media.
I'm not.
Nobody. Anybody. I want y'all to know, as you try to grow followers, you try to grow likes, you try to grow supporters, this is a unfamiliar way to do it, because there's no control that you have over it.
Right.
So we know, when God's in control, we know God's in control.
Yeah.
But this is an unknown thing that controls it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you come on here, be whoever it is you have to be for yourself that keeps you authentic.
Okay.
That's what people gravitate to.
Yeah. You right.
You don't gotta for months. The
Yeah.
second you pop on, the same people that was waiting gonna pop right back up too.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna give you all of me. I keep because I was looking like, God, my boobies look big.
People to agree with you when 10 do.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is because my grandma always tells me, you can count your best people on one hand. Anything after that one hand, you gotta watch.
You're right. I already know that. Girl, I already know that.
You know, that's a Southern saying, and I believe that. So I just say for anybody that wants to start a podcast, start anything, you know, and you doing it off the strength of just yourself,
Just do it.
just do it. Don't worry. Matter of fact, worry less about who's supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust and believe you me, there's too many people in the world to worry about the same 35 that you see every day.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Them 35 people will listen to a podcast and it still won't be yours.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
You don't gotta cut them off. Just know when to cut them in. Is all.
Y'all, before we wrap up, y'all know me in heaven. We'll talk all day. We'll talk all day.
Or don't hold spaces for nothing that has ever held you up, held you back, or held you in the same place.
Yes.
If you forget anything, just remember those three things: that the people that will hold you up and hold you back and hold you in the same spot that you're at, they all look the same. And you only see them when you're going through.
Exactly. And they want to call you. That's when they want to know your business. That's when people hit me up the most, Heaven. Let me put something. That's why I stopped putting stuff up. Let me put something up on Facebook. So they used to the old Brittany, ranting and raving, being mad, talking junk. That's what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? I still do it. Don't get it twisted.
That part.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. But I don't give them that energy no more. So when I do give it, they like, oh, where's she at? What's going on, Brittany? What, you know, that's when I hear even people who I think care about me. That's when I hear from them. Why you ain't calling me on a regular day just to ask me how I'm doing? Mm-hmm. You know, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Girl, we could talk all day. But anyway, y'all.
Before we close out, though, I will tell you, everyone has lost their most influential person between the ages of 5 and I'm going to say 25. And those people that you've lost that were the most influential to your spirit, right, are the ones that'll tell you that if you don't let those people go, then everything you've ever been through will be surrounded by and because of those same people. Mm-hmm. So 2024, don't live in regret. Things happen. Things going to continue to happen. Just don't let it happen to you. And that's what I will end with.
I love this. Thank you so much, Heaven, for coming on the show again today. Y'all, this is my boo. Like, we talk outside of the podcast. I love her to death. I'm waiting for her to invite me to California so I can come to Cali.
I'm trying to come to Texas. I ain't going to lie to you. I need to come to Texas because y'all brunch and Texas don't close like Vegas. I need to come out there.
Well, come on, because when you're ready, you can stay here if you want to.
Oh,
whenever you're ready.
I'm going to call you.
I know, call me. But y'all, I'm going to sign out today, boo. I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Y'all, this is Truth Be Told Podcast. This is episode number 74. Before we leave Heaven's World Podcast, please let us know where we can find you at on social media.
You can find me at Heaven's World Podcast on Instagram. And that is my best handle right now. And my podcast is also attached to that on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well.
Yes, y'all, go find her. Go search for Heaven's World Podcast on these podcast platforms. We are signing out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to these podcasts. We are trying to motivate the people. This is episode number 74. 73. Listen to me. 73 with Kitchen Talk with Truth Be Told Podcast. I am signing out. Y'all have a lovely evening.